Show me the money! Show me the money! Show me the money. Oh. Welcome back to Show Me the Money podcast, brought to you by Tavern Sports. It's a full barn tonight, ladies. Full barn! All six of us out
Family
here.
Family
pot. Swinging. And we're here to bring you the best picks and for you at the end of the week to show me the money. Start us off, always, the winners and losers from last week. Everybody, their mother's cousin's dog hit on UNC last weekend. If you were on Miami after the fumble debacle, don't know what to tell you. You're a jabroni.
Donkey.
All the boys hit 6.5, 3.5, 2.5 money line. It doesn't matter where you got them. Boom, you got it.
Hell of a good game, too.
Great game. Huge. Even better than that, your Big Ten West winners. Iowa goes into Madison, stomps the dog fuck out of the Badgers. IOWA, hands up if you're with me. Your team averaged more punt yards than offensive yards. Hold on. Left hand's going up this week, boys. Eastern Michigan joined Iowa as the only team in the nation to average more punt yards than offensive yards.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club.
Hey Tyler, that was a great intro, but you're not getting off that easy.
Whoa!
We got
don't
one
take
loss.
Away my hit. Don't take away my hit.
We still got one more win, baby, and that is Parker's worst nightmare. Notre Dame. Notre Dame came through, got the W for the lock of the week. There is only one loser from last week. One loser. What? Hands up if you're the loser. That's me. That's me. We took a ride last week with Kansas, and they led the game. During the middle of Washington, Oregon, a Rembrandt, a masterpiece, had to flick over to Kansas and watch them piss down their leg a win and a cover. Had to do it. It was heartbreaking. It was pretty brutal. I believe our first pod parlay to lose by a leg, and somebody, had to be the Messiah. And I led us down that path. It wasn't great.
It lost me a different parlay for like $500. So thank you.
Hey, hands up. If you're guilty, you're guilty. But that gets us to this week.
It's a new week.
Minnesota and PJ Fleck, that snake oil selling son of a bitch, come down into Kinnick and face the number 24 Hawkeyes. And the Hawkeyes
ranked
3.5 point favorites. The total is 31.5. No offense, all defense, all Tory Taylor punting. It's going to be a hell of a matchup. The Floyd of Rosedale is on the line. The Piggy's staying in Iowa. Give me the Hawks minus 3.5. Clark, what do you got?
Hold on. I have to double check with you. Did you just tell me that the over under for this game is 31.5 points?
No, it's 30.5.
Wait, check it.
And Iowa's the favorite.
Shop around.
6-1 Iowa, yeah.
Shop around. You're gonna find your best lines. The line I'm currently looking at was 31.5. If you can find a 30.5, take it if you want the over. This ain't going over. Lee Corso.
Why did this line go down?
Because it's Iowa and Minnesota. This line was 30.5 last year.
No, it opened at 6. I'm talking about the spread. It opened at 6 and it's at 3.5. Why did it go down?
Because Deacon Hill can't throw a ball farther than you can throw his pudgy ass.
Yeah, but Minnesota's dog shit.
No, Minnesota is dog shit, but look across the sidelines from them. Deacon Hill's fucking chunky dunk ass doing the truffle shuffle behind the O-line so Brian Ferentz can call 3 I formation runs right up the middle and let Tory Taylor's dick swing and kick a 50-yard punt. All right? That's how this offense works. I'm telling you, this is a 3.5-point game. This game is going to somehow end 11-5, 11-6, maybe. The under, they could set the under at 17.5. It won't be a sweat. Take the under. Take the Hawks minus 3.5 if you want. I'm gonna buy it down to 2.5 because we might own.
Because you're scared.
Because hands up, this game might end 2-0 with Iowa safety.
I mean, we won 15-7 against.
Yes, I mean
Wisconsin last week.
15-6.
This offense needs to just go and take a seat up there at the Children's Hospital and watch the defense play the entire fucking game. We don't need an offensive unit to win. Like, one big play is all it takes for us to win a game. I'm going Iowa on the spread. Gonna buy them to 2.5 for a special pick later. And I'm taking the under. What do you guys think?
I'm riding with you.
Yeah.
I'm taking the under. I am taking Iowa with the points. And I also think Iowa can win out. I think they can win every single last game on their schedule until the championship. Whoever they play, I don't know. But I think this team has a chance to be a playoff team. There's genuinely a
playoff
chance.
team.
We're not a playoff team. In order to be a playoff team, we have to actually beat somebody out of the West.
If you end the year with one loss, I think you guys can squeak in.
If we beat
we're
Michigan,
gonna have 2 losses. We're going to lose to whoever comes out of the East. It's not gonna be close.
if we beat Michigan in the Big Ten championship, I mean, I don't think we should go in over Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama, Oklahoma.
We're not.
See, but
we're not being a playoff team.
We'd have a fighting chance to get in.
I genuinely think
out of
you guys are going to be a
respect for the
team.
playoff, they won't put us in.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance you guys do get in because Texas is what they last year they came into Ames and lost. Oklahoma's another team that's going to go somewhere on the road and lose another game. And I think if Iowa ends up having one loss on their schedule at the end of the year, they're going to be in that playoff.
I don't think that the committee is dumb enough to put a team that doesn't score more than 10 points a game into the playoff.
21.
But it could be
21.
fun.
We're averaging 21.
I could see it happening. Just don't be surprised if it does happen. I said it here first, and I'm not a Hawkeye fan. I think there's a chance.
It's not gonna happen.
I mean,
the
I
offense
can
isn't
see.
good enough.
I can see us going 11-1, but
We're gonna go 11-1.
as
We're gonna win the
as long
Big Ten
as
West,
Michigan
and we're gonna get our
doesn't steal
asses
our-
handed to us in the championship. This is a completely dumb conversation that we're having. It's not gonna happen.
I agree.
I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Is
I don't-
them
I agree
being
with you,
Pigs
Clark.
could
I agree
fly
with you,
someday.
is them being plus 3,200 worth a sprinkle?
No.
No.
That's a donation to the
Bucks.
sports book.
All right. So we're gonna make
Welcome.
picks here. What are you guys saying?
Iowa minus 3.5. I'm not scared of it.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Minnesota's so bad at football. They barely beat Nebraska. Nebraska's dog shit. So
I think I would go with Ty. I'd buy that point because it's going to be a low scoring game. I'm not worried about Iowa winning. I am worried about them covering more than 3 points. I think this could be like a 6-3 football game.
Here's the issue, though. So we like to talk shit about Iowa offense. We're 116th in points and dead last in yards. Minnesota's 112th in points and 118th in yards. And our defense is really, really good. Like, if you can find like a prop of Minnesota being shut out, I would probably sprinkle it, honestly. I think there's a non-zero chance Minnesota scores 0 points this game.
That wouldn't be
I think
bad.
they'll score.
I don't.
I do too. No.
I definitely think they'll score because they can end up getting at least one field goal.
I think there'll be a field goal in the game.
I'm just,
Yeah, I
I'm
do
just saying,
too.
if you can
Yeah.
find
But
the
it-
prop, it'll probably be like plus 1,500 or better, and I would take it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I don't know. I'm
I'm
with
trying to
Iowa minus 3.5 as
disagree.
well.
I'm trying to find that right now and see if that's even an option.
If it's a prop.
But to go on what you were saying, Clark, I do think Iowa could win out the West, but we're not beating anybody over on the other side. We're gonna end up facing Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan's going to kick our teeth in. As long as they don't steal our signs, then we might have a chance.
I was gonna say.
But
Well, Michigan's got to beat Ohio State and Penn State. Got to beat Ohio State and Penn State first. Which
yeah,
I think Ohio
Michigan's
State. I think they can beat Ohio State. I think Ohio State's bad. But I don't
I
know if
just
they
thought it'd
beat
be a
Penn
hot
State.
topic to
But
talk
Yeah.
about.
talking about
I
that,
say speaking of those two,
talking
that's
to
our
the
next
Big
game.
Ten East, let's talk about probably game of the week. I don't know if it's actually game day, but we got Penn State going into Ohio State. It's a 5.5 point spread for the Buckeyes, total 45.5. Cole, what do you have here, pal?
Having Ohio State and Penn State going, I think this could be a really interesting game. I think they're both going to show up, but I don't know. Where's this game at? Is this at Ohio State?
It's at Ohio
at the
State,
horseshoe.
yeah.
I think if you take Penn State plus 5.5, it's not a bad bet. I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to hit the line anywhere near 45. I think it's going to be a defensive shootout. So I'm taking the under and plus 5.5.
I'm right
Clark,
there
you
with
got
you.
anything to add?
I don't have anything to add. I'm just gonna agree with Cole.
I think I'm the only one maybe then who's not on Penn State. I think Ohio
I'm with
State's
you.
going to cover.
I'm with you. I'm
There
with
we
you.
go.
Ohio State will cover.
Here's my thing, man. Ohio State, we've seen them play a good defense in Notre Dame already this year. Sure, they got lucky. They did, Notre Dame trotted out 10 men for the last 2 plays. But this Nittany Lions team put up 31 on Iowa's defense. And Iowa's got a top 25 defense across the board. I mean, our defense is really good. So Penn State's shown they can score on on great defenses. And Ohio State, I mean, yeah, they won, but they only scored 17.
Yeah.
I love Penn State. Yesterday, when I was doing my research, it was 4.5. I took them at 4.5. I'm gonna hammer at 5.5. I love Penn State 5.5.
So your comment about Penn State being a good Iowa defense, yes. However, Iowa had no time of possession in that game. That defense was out there a lot.
Agreed.
And they were worn out. I'm taking Ohio State, who's actually faced a good offense and a good defense in Notre Dame, where Penn State hasn't played anybody. Penn State hasn't had a test. Ohio State has, and it ugly as it may be, they came out on top, and it's in the shoe. I think they're going to beat Penn State at home. So I'll take Ohio State in the points. I would not parlay this with anything because it could get ugly.
My whole thing is I still just don't believe in this Ohio State kid. I really don't. I mean, they didn't put the ball in his hand at the end of that Notre Dame game. They gave it to the running back. I just don't believe in him. I don't.
I would disagree with that. I mean, Ohio State, they started off slow, but last week they kind of found their stride, and their quarterback, I mean, it's a young quarterback. It's going to take him a while to finally settle down and fit into that offensive scheme. I do like Ohio State in this game. I'm going to go with Tyler and Ethan on this one. They're just looking good.
Line fight here, boys?
I think we are. I think we
drop
are.
the mitts, boys.
Yeah.
Put them up. Put them up. Put them up. Put them up. Put them up.
I think it's going to be a really good game. It's going to be a close game. Like you guys said, it is going to be a defensive battle. It could be a flip of a coin what could happen, but I do like that Ohio State offense coming in there.
It sounds like
I can't. I'm an Iowa fan. I can't do that.
It sounds like us total boys are on the under though. Clark, are you with me and Cole on that, or?
Yeah, I can agree with you. I think this game goes under.
See, I could see this being an over game.
Oh,
I could see it being
100%.
like a 30-20 game or a 30-30 game. But I mean, who knows what could happen?
The total is scary. I'm not gonna say it's not.
Yeah.
It's just both defenses are so good.
See, I don't know if Penn State is good enough to score enough points to hit that over. So I think I'd roll with you guys on that under. Up next, we take it to Air Force.
Oh, it's my boy.
The salute the troops game.
They're finally ranked, man. They fucking deserve that shit.
Air
too.
Force at Navy. It's the number 22 Air Force at unranked Navy. Navy being the 10.5 point underdog. And the only comment I have is I think I'm going to ride Navy only because my dad is formerly in the Navy. So
Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you for your service.
Other than that,
Chris.
I won't actually be betting on this game. That's kind of just
Air Force.
I'm taking the under on this game.
That's an interesting call on that under. Do you know why, Clark?
34.5.
Dude,
do you guys know the statistic? Isn't
it like 9-0 right now?
Since 2005, when two service academies meet, the under hits 80.5% of the time. 43, 10, and 1.
Let me pull
when the
my phone
total
up.
listen to this. When the total decreases by 2 points, this game the total opened at 37.5. It's down to 34.5. So it has moved at least 2 points. When the total moves at least 2 points, it hits 100% of the time, 15-0.
Damn.
I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this though. No. Listen, I'm gonna say this though. It's gonna be 15-1 after this weekend. Air Force is gonna score 30 on their own, at least. Navy's gotta put up 5.
Here's the deal
2 field goals.
with that. Air Force's beloved boy at quarterback is out this week.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Do you know what that means?
They're going to run the ball.
It's going to be triple option versus triple option. It is going to be a football purist's wet dream to watch this game.
However, my high school coach is creaming his pants at this game.
I can't wait. This is the only game I'm watching during the noon slate. I'm not multi-viewing this game. It's going to be on the baby.
What?
Do they got any cool unis this year? I didn't see anything for the
No,
unis.
Army, Navy. That's Army, Navy.
Army, Navy. Oh, okay.
The thing with this game, this is a game that matters. It's armed services, fuck ass.
You didn't listen to what I was saying. Just finish your statement.
The things that matter with this game is Navy being 10.5 point underdogs at home is strictly because Air Force's rush defense is top 20. That's why this under is safe. I think Air Force is going to score.
That top 20
covering
really disrespectful considering they're 6th.
Top 10. I apologize. This Air Force defense.
I just gave you
How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you, Tyler?
They are 6th. Say it.
Doesn't matter. Fuck it. The boys can ride on their submarines all they want at number 6. Till they get top 5. I don't want to hear it. This Air Force team is going to win. That hook at 10.5 is going to be scary in a low-scoring affair.
It's not scary at all. I will say that here's one thing that should scare you. Air Force is an over team this year. They're 4-2 on totals.
Can't throw the ball this week. It's all run game.
They don't need to throw the ball.
That clock is.
They average like 70 throwing yards a game.
Still better than Iowa.
I promise you.
This might be the quickest game of all year, though.
Oh, 100. It's going to set a record. I'm on Air Force 10.5. I'm not scared of the hook, and I'm probably on the over, honestly.
Air Force minus 9.5. 10.5 is scary. Under.
I'm with you.
I like Air Force in the under.
I'm right there with you.
I'm taking the under.
Under might be my lock of the week. It might be my lock of the week just because triple option sucks.
Triple option's good football. It's pure football.
No, the triple option sucks. My senior year of high school, I will live it to this day. 98% of plays straight up the pisser.
Sounds
98 on a whole season.
It sounds like football.
I think we threw the ball 4 times.
That's football.
That was back when you were good at football, Cole.
That was back when I was about 100 pounds less. Mr. Purdue.
That was toxic-y. Speaking of
kidding,
toxic, let's go to a toxic rivalry in the SEC West. Tennessee going into Bama. Bama's laying 9
Give me Tennessee covering the spread.
So, last year was the first time Saban ever lost to Tennessee. Tennessee has not won in Tuscaloosa, which is where this game is, in 20 years. They could almost drink.
I don't
Rocky
know. This
Top,
You'll always be home.
not
sweet
Tallahassee to me. Bama -9 this week. Saban's had the boys pissed off for 365 days, telling them they threw the fucking goalposts in the river. They threw their sisters in the river. It didn't matter. Tennessee and Joe Milton are not going into Tuscaloosa and beating Bama. Roll Tide, roll.
You're not
Bama
wrong.
-9.
They're not
I don't
winning.
think they're going there to
They're
beat
not
them. I think
winning, but they are going to
But they
cover
can
8.5
cover.
or
I think
9
they
or
cover
whatever
8.
it is.
No.
Yeah.
What is it?
I do think that they could cover.
This is a
Tennessee
touchdown.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Tennessee hasn't looked good all year. I mean, neither has Bama, but Bama last week kind of showed some offense in the beginning, and then they kind of fell off in the second half. So I mean, Saban's been on them all year. They're probably tired of it by now. This game is definitely going to be a big one for them to kind of like, ramp it up and solidify that they're still the top dog in the SEC down there, or one of the top dogs, I should say. But I do like Tennessee to cover, but I think Alabama does win this game.
Yeah, if you want a
Yeah.
money line pick, it's Bama, but we're betting spreads, and the spread is going to Tennessee all day. They're two very comparable teams, both top 20 defenses in both aspects of the game. But when you look at the offensive numbers, Bama is not good. They're 60th in points and 85th in yards. Tennessee's a top 35 team in both of those statistics.
That brings me to the over/under at 48.5. What do you
I'm
think
not
about
touching
that,
it.
Josh?
Not touching it. Because I don't know what these teams are gonna do. These teams, Bama comes out and sometimes doesn't play defense. If Bama doesn't play defense, it goes over. If Bama decides to play defense and Tennessee plays defense, it goes under. Tennessee hasn't had the struggles on defense as much as Alabama has. They've had one bad showing against Florida. So for me, it's a stay away. I wouldn't touch it just because it scares me. If you gun to my head, I had to put money on it, I'd probably go under. I think Bama's going to be proud at home. If Bama wins, or if Bama covers, I feel like it goes under. But if I don't know, dude. I don't want to pick. I don't want to pick, but if you're going to make me, I would take the under.
I'd be right there with you.
Cole, what do you think?
I think this game has a possibility to go over. I think you got two offenses that have. I don't know much about Tennessee. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know much about them. Is their offense very high powered?
36th in points and 31st in yards.
What does that compare to Bama? What's the number
Bama's
on that?
59th in points and 85th in yards.
Tennessee runs the ball a lot more this year than they do throw it.
I don't know, bro. I feel like this game could go over if the defense doesn't show up.
But you're betting on two top 20 defenses not showing up, both of them. It's kind of the thing. I think if one of these defenses show up, if only one shows up, that team will cover and it will go under. I think the only way this goes over is if neither defense shows up.
No, you're right. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to fucking touch it. If I had to say something, it's probably going to go under. But I'm right there on the Tennessee's going to cover train. I think Bama's going to win the game outright, but I think it's going to be a tight game. I don't.
It's definitely a scary one. If you're looking for sure bets, don't play this one.
No, if I'm looking for sure bets, Tennessee to cover. I don't think Bama wins by 8.5. Not the way that they played all year.
No, because especially the team that played UCF could show up, or USF could show up.
Yeah.
Not Bama.
No. Fuck it.
Bama with the points and the under.
Ethan, what do you think?
Yeah, if I had to choose one of these teams, I think Tyler was right earlier. Bama's going to show up pissed off. They're at home.
Yeah.
I think they want their revenge back on Tennessee. Give me Bama -9.
Oh,
That leads us to our next game, Cole. Do you see what's next?
Cole's favorite team, baby. Tar Heels
The Tar Heels.
hosting Virginia. It's a 23.5 point spread for, I think I saw today, 6th in Heisman odds, Drake May.
This game is gonna suck. It's gonna be fucking terrible because UNC is gonna beat the living piss out of fucking Virginia.
Yep.
I don't think this game is anywhere close. I think 23.5 could probably be bought up. I don't see a world where I don't understand how 40% of the money is on Virginia to cover.
I think those bettors are betting Drake May gets pulled at half. That's the only thing I can think of. Because if he plays 3 quarters, they're gonna cover.
Is this
They're
a
1 in
rivalry
5.
game?
No, you have to win
No.
for it to be a rivalry game.
Yeah.
Ask Clark in the Iowa State matchup.
Be quiet. But no, I think
to
UNC
this game.
covers it. Yeah, back to this game. I agree with Cole here. I'm taking the points. I don't know if I necessarily take more points, but I'll take what they gave me, 23.5.
Yeah,
Here's
I
one
think
thing
that's a
that-
solid bet for your money because there's no way this game is a close game. They're
Here's one thing
in
that
5.
might scare y'all. Virginia's 4-2 ATS on the year. That being said, I am on UNC minus 23.5 because they're 5-1 ATS. This Virginia team is one of the rare teams we look at where they have a negative game script. Their offense or their defense gives up more points and yards than their offense tends to produce. I'll take the potential number 1, number 2 overall pick and their team over a negative game script team no matter what.
yeah, I'm gonna use UNC with points there. I think you're gonna be cutting it close, but I also think tease this down could be a good look on the teaser.
Why are you so scared of these spreads this week, man? It's like the third one you've said.
No. He's saying it's a good
I'm
one
saying-
to just add into a teaser.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes,
I
20.
feel
Because 23 is a high number, but still,
24
23
is
is
the
a high
football
number.
But
Exactly.
24
So if you
is your
tease it
football
down to they're winning by 2 touchdowns instead of they have to win by more than 3, it's way better. You know what I mean?
I can tease this to 17 and feel way better about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The other thing
Tyler-
is if you
Tyler
kinda
says
look
that
at
'cause he hasn't
the
built the
spread
teaser.
there. Go ahead.
I finished what I was saying. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. If you look at the spreads, their losses against the spread, I know Virginia is 7-3 in their past 10 against the spreads. If it's over 10 points, they lose against the spread. The last time that they didn't cover was 15.5.
When you look at the spreads that Virginia, they're 7-3 against the spread. They've won when it's under 10 points. Anything over 10 points has been a loss against the spread for them. I mean, the last one was 15.5, 27.5, and they're a 5. But I don't think anywhere near that. It doesn't look good for them.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. North Carolina should handle business. I mean, I don't see how it can be a close game, but you never know. But North Carolina should take care of business and just throttle Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've bet on Virginia a couple times this year. Inside the parlays, never outside of a parlay, thinking that I know that they are not a great team, but they're not a bad team. I was wrong. So I'm gonna continue to bet against them. I'm gonna continue to bet on UNC. Give me UNC minus 23.5.
Fuck 'em.
This next game we're going to talk
Fuck
about.
them.
I don't know about you guys. This is a surprising 2-touchdown dog to me. Duke plus 14.5 going into FSU. I understand Florida State's one of the best teams in the nation this year, but Duke hasn't been awful. I mean,
Duke's been good.
Yeah, Duke's been good. I mean, they
Really
have one
good.
loss to Notre Dame. It was a 7-point loss, and Notre
Which
Dame's
you're
a
gonna
good
have.
team. Yeah. So these 14.5 points really confuses me, even when you kind of break it down and look at the numbers.
I think that 14 and a half is going to look real nice during that first half, and then it's going to get ugly really fast right after that. This Florida State
That right
offense
there.
is a force to be reckoned with. This wide receiver they have, Keenan Coleman, should be one of the top 3 wide receivers off the board. This
Well,
dude
Jordan
is
Travis is 5th in Heisman odds right now.
exactly. This offense is just explosive and high scoring, and I just don't think that Duke's going to have an answer. I don't know if their DBs and their defense is going to be able to hang in there for all 4 quarters. I think it might be close during that first half, and then you're going to just start to see a runaway train.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a pick for this one, honestly, because
Florida State
like
minus
Parker
14
said, it
and
can
a
go
half.
either way. You say
I'd bring
that, but
it down
like
to 13 and a half.
if I
I'd
told
be more
you
comfortable.
if I told you Duke loses this game by 3, are you going to be surprised?
I mean, yeah,
Yes.
kind of. Yeah.
Yes.
I think Duke could hang in this game, but I'm still going to go with FSU.
I see this game being almost a 10-point game rather than a 14. I think that this is like a, last drive for them to cover. They don't make it all the way down there because they're running the football. They end up kicking the field goal, 10-point game. The game ends at that 10-point spread.
Sounds like you like Duke then, because the spread's 14.5.
I like FSU, but it's a big spread for me. You guys have been on Duke all year, it feels like, or at least since we've started the pod. So for me, it's hard for me to say exactly. I haven't watched them play once, and I have watched FSU play 3 or 4 times at this point. I like FSU a lot. It's just I don't know if I am willing to bet on them to cover 14 and a half.
As of yesterday, CBS Sports reported that there is a higher than likely chance Riley Leonard does return this week too, but it hasn't been officially announced. I wouldn't be surprised if this line moves 3 or 4 points upon that announcement if he goes.
So who all has a pick here? Is anyone picking anything or?
Well, let's talk totals before we talk picks. Parker said that he thought this game is going to be close first half and then explode second half. If it explodes second half, that kind of makes the over look good.
What is it?
49.5.
49.5.
Honestly, I kind of like that. I do like the over.
I kind of like the over too.
Florida State's put up like 40 in 3 games, and I do think their defense isn't the best, but I could definitely see Duke putting up at least 20, possibly. Like
Duke is 4th in the nation in scoring defense. They're only allowing 9.8 points per game this year. I think that's a big factor here too.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it because I think we all kind of feel the same way.
I'm not going to touch this game until I find out if Riley Leonard's playing. But right now, if the books have him as he is playing and these lines don't change, I think I'm going to take Florida State strictly because the D line better than Duke's O line. But it's going to be a good game to watch.
Sounds like I'm solo riding Duke 14.5. Everybody else on FSU.
Yeah, I'm right there. They're 0-6-1 against the spread head-to-head in their lifetime. So
how far back does that go?
2006.
Probably like
it goes back to 2006.
A long time.
The only one that even has any precedence on this game is from 2020. So
and
some
they
of the
won.
Seniors might have been on the team during that year.
But they won 56-35.
Yeah, but lifetime stats I don't really like looking at because, like you said, this goes back to 2006. It's almost 17 years for the last
6 years old.
for the last 6 games. I don't think that's very telling. personally.
So it sounds like
I think FSU takes it at 14.5, 100%. So.
That's fine. I'll solo ride. I don't have an issue solo riding.
Fuck Duke. We're UNC fans.
fair enough.
There can only be one double sport school in the Carolinas, and it's UNC.
Fair enough.
Hey, Tyler, you
right.
want to take us to the next one?
I would love to. We get number 14 Utah going in to LeBron James, Snoop Dogg, everybody in Southern Cal. USC is 7-point favorites at home against Utah. I am scared of this game. You have a USC. You have
Don't
USC
say it,
coming off.
Ty.
Bro.
You have USC coming off a loss. They're going to be pissed off. That defense is fucking abysmal. We did finally get to see what Caleb Williams looks like against a good defense. And what do we have this week?
Dog shit.
A good defense.
A great
with
defense.
Utah.
A fucking good defense.
I am taking Utah +7. Look for this line to move, though, definitely by Saturday morning. I feel like when the Saturday morning bettors wake up, they're either going to hammer. I think they're going to hammer USC, and you might be able to get this at 7.5. I doubt it goes and touches 8. But if you're looking for USC, maybe wait till Saturday morning. They go down to 6.5, and Utah bumps up to 7.5. Like I think either way that line could. I'm saying I could see either way it going. I could see it going to 7.5 or to 6.5. I would be on the lookout for that and not get it at 7 unless you want to play for that push. But give me Utah with the points.
I warned y'all last week about USC's inability to play against good defenses.
I was fucking wrong. I was so wrong.
They've now played against 2 good defenses. They now have to play a great defense. They have to play a defense that is top 10 in the 2 most important aspects. Points per game, they are 5th. We saw Caleb Williams against decent defenses. He doesn't play well. Now he has to play a great defense. The kid doesn't deserve to be the first overall pick, in my opinion. He doesn't deserve anything. He came out 2-3 weeks ago saying what teams he will and won't play for. You're not that fucking good.
Is that confirmed?
And
Did we confirm that?
Yeah, he said it.
Or is that his dad?
No, he said that. It's just like Eli and his dad and Arch. His dad's speaking for him.
When you say you want ownership, you're pretty much just backing on that.
He says he wants ownership of whatever team drafts him. Dude, Drake May, I think, is going to end up being a better quarterback than you in the league. You struggle against good college defenses. You're really going to struggle against this great college defense. What are you going to do against NFL caliber defenses? You're not going to translate if you can't play against great defenses. That being said, I'm on Utah +7. And if it goes to 7.5, I'm really going to be on it. If it goes to 6.5, I might stay away. I kind of like the idea of the push, but
I'm with you here, Josh. I like the Utes. Honestly, I might even look to sprinkle some of them on the money line. Cam Rising got to get the rust off in that first game back. He's second game back now. He's going to be looking to put up some numbers and get his name. Cam Rising?
He
didn't go last week.
I thought he was in.
No.
I could have swore I seen him in a few plays.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't think Cam's going to play at all this year at this point. I think they keep teasing it, and it's just not going to happen. I think they're using it as look over here, a little smoke screen to get teams to look at some tape from last season.
No Cam Rising. No Cam Rising last week.
I don't
Utah
think it matters,
offense.
though. This USC's defense is barely above 100 in both aspects. They're not
No.
good.
Utah switched from Nate Johnson to their other quarterback when they were running the 2-quarterback system. He was able to throw the ball a little bit better. I think this USC defense is light. But
Mhm.
if this Utah offense struggles to get the ball moving like they have in weeks prior, then I could see USC running away with it. However, I'm going to take Utah on the points and rely on the defense, and it's going to be a sweat. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to a last-second field goal or USC running the clock out, or maybe even Utah going down and kicking a game-winning field goal.
Since USC
I mean,
stopped playing
I still
their
think
patty cake games, I'm sorry, Parker. But
no, you're good.
Since USC stopped playing their patty cake games, they are 1-5 ATS. Their only win against a non ATS against a non patty cake was Stanford, and even Stanford's patty cake. Like they're on a 4-game ATS skid against ASU, Colorado, Arizona, and last week against Notre Dame.
I mean, yeah, I don't think USC could stop water if they turned off the faucet. So I mean, I still think. I mean, Utah. I think Utah scores, and if their defense shows up hard, and we've seen Caleb Williams shut down, and if they close them off, I think you might see a little small upset. But I do like Utah to cover here. What do you guys think, Clark?
I'm actually going to disagree with everyone so far. I'm going to take USC -7.
You're a
I
mutt.
think this. I love this Utes team. We've made money on this Utes team,
A lot of money.
a lot of money. But I have a tingling. I have a tingling. and
You're
I
a
think
mutt.
I think this USC team comes out and puts up a shit ton of points. I genuinely feel that way. I got a
Not
feeling
on my Utes.
it's gonna happen.
Ooh.
We're not in
Wow.
Utah, baby.
If the Utes cover here, the game goes under. The total's 53.5. I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm taking USC -7. We're not in Utah. We're in Cali.
You're a mutt.
Cole,
Cole, where are you at?
I'm still thinking about you calling him a mutt. Oh, I honestly don't know. I'm kind of in like the same boat, but like I think Caleb Williams, I don't think he sucks. I think he's still going to be a good quarterback. I think he's still going to play well in the league. Josh, you went off on that little rant,
Dogs
and I don't believe any of it's true. I'm taking Utah +7. I think USC could win this game. I don't think they'll win by 7. I think it's going to be a close game. So I'll take him at +7.
Total boy.
I'm not
What's the
touching
pup
it.
think?
I'm not touching it.
I think it's a very free under. I really do.
I don't know. I don't know about that because they could come out and score points.
USC could have a complete flip, and Caleb Williams could go off, kind of just being pissed off. It's really how well can Utah's offense do against USC's pitiful defense.
Yeah.
We know USC's offense and Utah's defense are going to do what they do, and that's going to be a chess match the entire game. It's the opposite for the other side. Like, if Utah's offense can move the ball, it's going to be a good game. But if Utah's offense can't move the ball, their defense has to go against a high-flying offense for a long time. So that's why I just can't trust USC. I'm going to hope Utah shows up on offense.
So it sounds like we're all on Utah. Clark, what do you think on the total since Cole won't touch it?
What's that again?
53.5. If you're on Utah, I think you have to be on the under. I don't think there's a world.
Clark's on USC.
I'm on USC.
Clark's on USC. Okay.
But I'm still taking the under. I think, to me, this game, I don't think Utah is putting up a ton of points, and I don't think either team's putting up a ton of points. I think this could be like a 21-14, maybe 21-10. It's going to be a close game, but I still think USC squeaks it out.
All right, so Clark's on a solo. We like our solo rides around here.
Well, it could get nasty. It could get nasty.
It could be. I'm going to watch this game. That's for sure.
Oh, I can't wait to watch this game.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's go to our next game, and that is a very pesky Arizona State heading into number 5 Washington. Washington is 27.5-point favorites coming off of a win against then number 8 ranked Oregon. Where are you guys at with this one? This one seems like a lot of points for a team who could be coming in on like a letdown spot. They kind of blew their load early with Oregon last week. I don't know how well the boys are going to fight a game like that and do a last minute drive to win the game to coming up and having a no name come into their barn. This is a little too much for me. I could see this as a teaser line, but 27.5 after a big win, I could see this being a letdown spot for the guys.
The only reason I like Washington here is just how abysmal ASU's offense is. They're 124th in scoring. They're averaging under 20 points a game. They're 102nd in yards, averaging under 350 a game. They've played a couple teams tight. They played Colorado tight. I think that has more to do with their defense, which isn't great, but they're actually pretty good in the yards category. Their total defense is 38. They're only allowing 340 yards a game. They also covered against USC, but that USC line was a touchdown higher. And I personally, at least in the college, Caleb Williams is going to get drafted before Penix, but I think Penix is a better college quarterback than Caleb Williams personally.
So what's your pick then?
I'm on Washington until they prove me wrong. I guess they technically proved me wrong last week because I was on Oregon, but they still it was a push technically at the 3 points. Yeah, I'm on Washington. I just don't think Arizona's really going to score very many points. They might put up a field goal, maybe 10 total. Whereas I think Washington's going to put up 30, 40 something.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Washington wins this game for sure, but it's just kind of you just don't know with ASU because they put up 24 on Colorado, 21 on Cal. They put 28 on USC. There's no really like great defense coming out of there, but they've kept in a couple of games. Like you just don't know what's going to happen. But I'm going to stick with Washington. Washington's the pick.
Spread math says that they're going to score 32.5, I believe. If I'm right on that. I don't know how spread math works.
That's not how spread math works.
I might be stupid. Fuck it. I also don't think that 27.5, I think is too high of a number. I'm going to go with Tyler on that one. But like ASU, they're one of those teams that sticks around for no fucking reason. For no reason.
They show up to play ball.
Gonna score.
They do.
They show up to play ball. And Washington is going to score a shit ton of points, but I don't think it's 27.5 more. So for me, the money wouldn't be in it because I take them as a money line, just because I don't like 27.5, but I also don't trust ASU to cover either.
What if I gave it to you at 20.5? So 3 touchdowns.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
This would be another one that you would add into your teaser.
Yeah, this is a
Tease them
teaser.
down.
This is a teaser. Teaser.
I'm strictly on Washington just because of what they've done for me all year. They've made me money all year, so I'm going to stick with them for the time being. But if I lose money this week on Washington, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to be upset just because of how big this number is. And like you guys are saying, this ASU team sticks around for some reason.
I do too, but I just think this Washington offense has just got something special about it. I just don't know if I think, it might be close in that first half, kind of like first quarter, maybe second quarter, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they won by 27.5. Like they're just a dominant offense. Even their defense was still pretty good against Oregon, and they still, it was a high scoring game, but yeah, Washington's a no-brainer here. It's going to be.
Have you given us your 2 cents on this one yet, or?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm taking Washington.
Okay.
I think we're
So,
waiting on E, baby.
Ethan, we need your pick here, man. You'll either make a tie or you'll
Yeah.
keep it split.
It is a lot of
Dogs
points.
only.
It is a lot of points. That is easily my
Well-
biggest concern.
What would your
Um,
dog pick? Probably go with the Huskies.
I'm gonna go with
Boo.
we're going with
Boo.
Washington. Gonna go with Washington. I know it's a big spread, but I think Josh, you said it earlier, they've won us money all year. I don't believe in who do they play? Either of the Arizona teams. I don't believe in them. Doesn't matter.
Interesting enough, the 27.5 does line up well as a football number because 28 is a 4-touchdown win. It's not. Obviously that's a lot of points to win by, but it is a good football number.
The other thing you got to think of are they going to pull Penix at half?
I don't think so. I
No,
don't think
if anything,
Penix is
it'll
gonna
be the end of
allow
the
it
third.
because
It'll be end of the third if they're up by 3 touchdowns. He'll get pulled.
he's still got a lot of work to do. No, he doesn't have a lot of work to do because he's leading the race, but the season's not
Nah.
over yet. So,
If this dude puts
it'll
up,
be a stat pattern.
Yeah,
If
that's what I'm
this-
saying.
303 touchdowns in the first half, he might play the third quarter, but
He'll play the third. He
if
just
he's
won't play
got
the fourth.
300 yards and a couple passing touchdowns, I don't see him being in the fourth quarter unless ASU is in the game somehow. But
Yeah.
other than that, I think Penix is going to be hitting the bench early.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen if you kind of followed them early on, Penix didn't play a fourth quarter for the first 4 or 5 games. So I mean, it's like that. So I mean, it'll be the third quarter if they get up big because I mean, they still got to have he's still got to want his stats to get his name up there in that Heisman pick.
Well, let's talk one more big spread before we move on. Oregon
this game.
laying 19.5 against Wazoo. Two teams we've been betting with and against all year, depending on which side you've been taking, but we've talked them damn near every week. Oregon 6-0 ATS, maybe 5-0-1, depending on your opinion on last week's line. They're first in offense in both statistical categories, 11th in points on defense, 13th in yards. Playing against this Wazoo team that's, their defense is leaving a lot to be desired. They're 106th in yards on defense, and they're tied 89th in points allowed. They're 28th in points scored on offense, and they're 40th in yards on offense. Tyler, you got anything for us on these Duckies?
Give me the Ducks strictly because it might be what Cole always likes. It might just be a uniform bet this week. WSU coming off a disappointing loss. I mean, same for Oregon, but Oregon showed that they got grit, some moxie. So, yeah, give me Bo Nix and the boys to bounce back here. It just happens to be that Washington State is next on the schedule, So
I gave y'all that Arizona pick over Wazoo last week too, man. I told y'all that kid's special.
You did, but I'm gonna go Oregon. Wazoo is gonna start trending down, unfortunately, and I think Bo Nix and the boys get right here. Cole, what do you got?
This line is too small for the cold fucking uniforms that we have this week. I could come. I could do it. I could come on these uniforms. It's Ducks by 1 million. Give me them at 19.5. Give me them at 21.5. I don't think it fucking matters.
What's the actual line? 20?
19.5 is what I have.
19.5.
Yeah, give me the Ducks.
Yeah, I was big on Washington State in the beginning. They kind of made a fun little run. They looked abysmal against Arizona last week. I think this Oregon team's just going to, after last week losing to Washington, they're going to come with a purpose, and I think it's going to be pretty bad for Washington State. Give me the Ducks at 19.5.
All right, my total, boys, 61.5. I'm on the under here. Oregon's got an elite offense, elite defense. I don't know if Wazoo's going to put up more than 7 points. And If it's 7-40 something, the Ducks will lay off a little bit, get those young guys some reps, maybe put in their backup QB to look at them before Bo goes off to the NFL at the end of the year. I love this under.
I agree.
Yeah, it's
I'm
under
taking
all
the
day.
under.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I like the under too.
E, what do you think about this game?
I definitely like Oregon at minus 19.5. I think that they're going to be pissed off from last week, and they should be. It was one hell of a football game. I was watching that at work, and I definitely should not have been, and should have been actually working at the time. But instead, I was very much happier watching the game last week. Oregon put up a hell of a fight. I think that they will come out at home and just tear Washington State a new asshole. So give me Oregon 19.5.
So that's all we're gonna do for college this week, guys. I mean, we'll come back to our locks in a bit. Two more games I do like though is Ole Miss minus 6.5 against Auburn. Auburn just hasn't looked like they like playing football this year. And Mizzou's only laying 7 against South Carolina. Again, South Carolina hasn't impressed me. I like Mizzou minus 7 there. I think those are just two more good lines for our listeners.
This episode of Show Me the Money is brought to you by Tavern Sports, your place to get fun sports content, sportsbook lines, and parlays, and of course, food reviews with Big E's Ballpark Bites. You can follow Tavern Sports at Instagram at Tavern Sports 2023, TikTok at tavern.sports, and Twitter at Tavern Sports 23.
I do have to give you guys an apology real quick, both to all of our Tavern Sports employees as well as any of the listeners that we have. I was supposed to have the shirts already out online. I kind of do. The store is currently not working properly. I'm working to get that fixed. However, I do have the shirts and I have the stickers. Here's a quick looking at the sticker if you're watching us on YouTube. They are really nice and the shirts are really nice too. I highly recommend getting one. Obviously, once that's back up and running, and I'll let you know ASAP when that is.
The shop does work if you go through PayPal.
Yeah,
you just can't use Shopify. If you use PayPal to pay, it does work. It will process.
Yeah. So we'll have that figured out really quick. Hopefully I have Shopify working on it as we speak. But they are unsure of what's wrong with it. They have not dealt with a problem like this is what they were told me. So into our NFL picks. Tyler, start us off with game number 1 that we have.
All right,
Bears.
The Bears hosting the Las Vegas Raiders. This is an interesting one. This is a backup quarterback bowl. We have Aiden O'Connell, the rookie out of Purdue, coming in and facing Tyler Bagent of the Bears.
It's also
Bears
Tyson.
Well, you'll have that on those bigger jobs. Dude came from fucking Coal Miner State, Colorado. It does not matter. This game is a toilet bowl. If you're putting your money on this game, God bless you. You're a sicko. This game is only for fucking sports bettors. Nobody wants to watch this game. With that being said, give me Vegas in the points. Give me Vegas money line. Devontae Adams is going to be running wild. Josh Jacobs is going to be running wild. This is not going to be pretty for Bears fans.
No. We talked earlier before the show, like, this is kind of here so we can just bitch about the Bears a little bit. Does anybody want to bitch about the Bears a little bit?
I want to fucking bitch about the Bears every week. I hate this fucking team, bro.
Can I direct your bitching a little bit?
Okay. Let me Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Bitch about Justin, our quarterback woes, our coaching woes, and where you think we should go next, Cole.
I have no problem with Justin Fields. I'm going to say that publicly. I am a Justin Fields supporter. I love Justin Fields.
Okay.
He's not the problem.
Before we go on, bashing, I kind of like this Tyson Bagent.
I don't
I
think
mean,
anybody's gonna dog on Tyson at all. I think he's a
exactly.
great story.
He's a kid.
Exactly.
He's a kid.
I think he looked pretty good. I think for what he got thrown into, I mean, he had that one fumble. I mean, he got a couple balls
Ooh.
batted that sucks and got some balls underthrown. But I mean, I think this Raiders team is definitely, if we can hold off against their Max Crosby getting in 2 seconds, maybe we can do something. But definitely, it's gonna start bashing on the coaching here. We got to figure out something for our
Yeah.
system. You
I
got to
don't
get
like the coaching
time.
at all. I was telling you guys in the pre-show, we're out of the playoff race. So it's time to look at our younger guys. We have a lot of young guys on the offensive line. Jatiri Carter's been playing well. He's a 5th-round rookie guard, and he's played well. He's played in, I mean, we're 1-5. I think he's played in at least 4 games, maybe 5. And he's looked good. I don't have stats because I don't have, the website that tracks that stuff. I'm not going to pay for that membership. But to play Lucas Patrick and Cody Whitehair over him, I really don't like that. I don't like shuffling up the young guys
It's
on
terrible.
the front. Yeah, I mean, Cody Whitehair's looked bad at center. It's not his natural position. He's a left guard. I get that. It's time to look at what Borum, Jenkins, you put Patrick at center as a placeholder. Hopefully we draft one this year. You have Jatiri at right guard, Darnell right at right tackle. You get to look at what your line of the future looks like, what your line for the next 5 to 7 years could look like if you put those guys in. They're all above average. I know that. I've heard that. The Bears offensive line is not playing poorly. Darnell Wright's like top 5 or top 10 in pass rush or pass block win rate. Larry Borum's up there too, actually. He's actually doing really well as our 6th offensive lineman, as our backup tackle. Our O-line looks good. I'm with Cole. I like Justin. I like DJ. I like our backfield. It just has to come down to the coaching at this point.
It absolutely is the coaching. I think Eberflus and Getsy are butt fucking each other trying to run the plays. I think it's terrible. Cody Whitehair needs to go. He needs to go.
Thank you for your service. You've been a great Bear. But it's time to go.
No. He has not been a great Bear.
Was he the one that was blocking our own lineman on the one clip that surfaced?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, that should have been cue number 1. Right then and there, he should have been sitting on the bench.
He's been a stalwart on that offensive line for years. He has been a good Bear. He's awful now. He is past his prime, but he has been a good Bear. He has put in his years on a bad team and bad organization.
I think a wet paper towel can block better than fucking Cody Whitehair. You could throw a 6-year-old out there and snap the ball better.
His snaps are bad. Snaps are very bad.
The Bears are bad.
From a former interior lineman, his snaps are dog shit.
I don't care about this game anymore. I am not even going to watch it.
Bears are bad. This
Bet
game's going to be a flip a coin.
Going to be a great first and second overall pick for the Bears.
I just can't wait for Christmas Eve when we get to go to that game.
Let's talk about a game that's actually going to be competitive.
Let's talk about an NFC North team that actually looks pretty good this year. And let's go talk about these Lions against the Ravens.
The goddamn Dan Campbell's, baby.
Fighting Dan Campbell's, baby. I love them.
TT, what do you think about this game?
Lions, baby. Underdogs. Don't like that their running backs are hurt. I don't know. We're going to need another good Lamar game. Not a great Lamar game, but Lions defense is legit. And if they can figure out how to get it going against a respectable Ravens defense, then I like them covering. Hopefully Jahmyr Gibbs is in if Montgomery's out. If Jahmyr Gibbs is out as well, I might flip sides of the Ravens here, but right now I'm leaning Lions.
I like Lions money line.
I do like the Lions with y'all. I think they're a way better team than we think. I think right now it was, Reynolds? Craig Reynolds is their running back. Is that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so.
I heard some stuff about him on the Lions waiver wire saying that whole offensive line likes him. They love Reynolds. I mean, you've seen clips of him running up the field, going to make a block for Amon Ra, trying to bust a run in last week. I think they're going to look good. I think they're going to put up some points, and this Lions team is going to be forced to be reckoned with.
And JMO's back. I don't know if you guys watched any of the film from last week's game. That guy's special. He is so fast off the ball, and he can stop on a dime, man. He can stop on a blade of grass, let alone a dime, dude. He is great. I'm so happy we finally get to watch him play some meaningful football, not coming off an ACL tear. The things they can do with him, he's going to clear out the top of the defense and give Amon-Ra so much more room to work underneath. It's going to be so much fun to watch these Lions for the rest of the year with those two.
Yeah,
Also, Aiden Hutchinson having a shot at Depoy. I mean, I think he's got a real shot at Depoy this year. The Lions are good.
I really like the Lions. Obviously, give me those Iowa boys. I'll take them every time. There's a couple of them on there. The other thing is I have Lamar Jackson on my fantasy team, and what a terrible quarterback to have on your fucking fantasy team. This guy has sucked all year.
I have him on 2 of my fantasy teams.
Oh, it's miserable. So he's sitting the bench for me now. Until he shows me that he's actually even an average quarterback at this point. So give me the Lions.
Speaking of good quarterbacks, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Jared Goff is actually the most bet player to win NFL MVP right now, which I think is kind of fun.
Good for him.
Because you haven't seen a quarterback in Detroit alone even be in the fucking race in a long time. It's plus 2,000. I'd sprinkle a few dollars on it. Personally.
Yeah, plus 2,000, that's a sprinkle. Matchup of the week, boys. And it's actually on Sunday night for once. They're not very good at putting these games of the week on Sunday nights, but they got one right. Miami going into Philly. It's a 2.5 point game. This is going to be one hell of a game. Clark, what do you got?
Give me Philly minus 2.5. They're at home. They got some boys on their defensive line. They've got, I don't even know, is Mostert's playing. I think they're gonna yeah, I think they can bottle up the run. I think Mostert's still gonna get yards out there, but I think this defense is gonna be what wins them the game.
Yeah, this will be a really good game. I've got a buddy who's going to this game in Philly, and he's super excited to see the Phillies stomp Miami because Miami needs to be humbled. I'm taking it at 2.5.
See, I'm on the fence here. I'm on the fence. Just like I took the Lions money line, I'm on the Fins money line here. It really just comes down to Philly is struggling to score the ball this year. And Miami's a good football team. Miami doesn't struggle to score the ball. They put up a 70 burger. They struggled against Buffalo, but I'm going to gamble that doesn't happen. I'm honest. I'm probably gonna parlay both of those, the Lions and the Fins, in a money line parlay.
I like the Eagles here. I don't think Miami's got that great of a defense to stop this Philly offense. Jalen Hurts doesn't find AJ Brown at least twice in the end zone this week. It's time to look at something new on this offense and what's really need to dive into what's going on. I mean, Miami does have an explosive offense, but this Philly defense is a top 5 defense. So, I mean, I think they're going to be able to stop the run, and they got some good corners and safeties to be able to shadow Tyreek Hill. So I think they're going to take him out of the game, and it's going to be big on Waddle. But that other side of the ball for Phillies on their corners, I think it's just going to be a good game for Philly. I like Philly minus 2.5.
Give me a Julio Jones touchdown, baby.
Tyler, what do you think, Philly, Miami?
I think Philly is coming off of a bad loss last week, and I think they're gonna come in pissed off. And they're gonna get a win. They had a couple of the leaders in the locker room, Kelsey and Hertz and the boys. They really took accountability after losing to a shitty Jets team in the locker room. Sirianni had to come in and really not say anything. So I think the boys took it personally, and I think the Eagles are going to come out on top here, especially in the bank at home.
Into Major League Baseball, October postseason baseball. I'm watching it right now. It's been I would say
awesome.
I would say this game I'm watching right now has been exciting at 3-3, but for a 3-3 ball game, this has to be the most boring October baseball game I've watched all year. Not good pitching at all.
Nobody knows what game you're talking about.
I'm sorry, I'm watching the Astros and Rangers game.
Yeah.
Fuck the Astros.
How about the Rangers going up early? Come on, let's talk series.
Yeah, that's been a ton of fun to watch. You have the Texas Rangers, who are in the postseason for the first time since 2011, with arguably one of the best teams in baseball. You have the $500 million middle infield. You heard that right. They spent over $500 million on just the middle infield. And Corey Seager being half of that has panned out very well. So I'm watching that game right now. It's a lot of fun to watch. And I think it's exciting, but man, I think these Philadelphia Phillies are so hot right now. And they
got hot at such a good time too.
To watch those superstars just come together and dominate in Philadelphia has been so much fun. Like,
it's nice to see an old Cubby getting it in right now. That first pitch home run, there was a guy I saw that bet like a stupid amount on like first pitch home run just by chance and hit it for something fucking stupid.
Oh, I believe it.
There's a lot of money to be made in baseball, though. I mean, bases itself, you're looking at home runs, hitting either Bryce or Schwarber. It's hot.
Yeah, total bases are still the best things that you can kind of bet, in my opinion. We've had if you're betting Harper, Trey Turner, Castellanos has been really good too. I haven't been betting on him, but the guy has the guy has 5 homers in 4 games. So he's been way better than I think a lot of people thought he was going to be in the playoffs. Who else? Real Amuto has been killing it. I think the one hardship that they've kind of had is Bryson Stott has not been great. He cost Parker and I some money a little bit ago on a pretty solid parlay that we had. Every other leg hit, and Stott couldn't put the ball in play really on like 5 or 6 at bats. So that one hurt. But the Phillies right now, if you want to bet on them, actually, you know what? I haven't checked since the game ended. The Diamondbacks took one finally from the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies are still up 2-1 in the series, but with that game, I believe that the World Series odds for the Phillies just changed. So let me look at it quick. Originally, to start the day, they were plus 115.
All I'm saying is now, don't let those snakes win this next game at home.
After that loss to the Diamondbacks, the Phillies are now plus 155 to win the World Series.
Still good money.
That's still really good money. I might drop a boatload on that here soon. We'll see.
Yeah, no, both these series, I mean, you couldn't ask for any better. I mean, you kind of thought of it was going to be a little bit closer. I mean, this Astros and Rangers, I thought it was going to be 1-1 coming out of that first series, definitely, or the first few games, didn't think the Rangers were going to go up 2-0. Then you get stats and you start hearing how the Astros are better on the road, and there they off, and then they just shell Scherzer in the first inning, kind of take it big up on them. They're 2-1 right now. So, as Ethan was saying, it's a slow ball game at 3-3 right now, but that's kind of put a pin in a lot of games here because do they go back to Texas after this game?
Yep.
Right, back for game
no,
6.
sorry. No,
Or
they
is it
have
3?
games 3, 5, or 3, 4, 5
Okay,
in
that's what I thought.
in
3
Arlington.
and then 1, right? Yeah. So yeah, this series is gonna be good. I would love to see the Rangers pull it out. That would be cool. A Rangers Phillies World Series would be a fun one to watch, I think.
Rangers, Diamondbacks, you mean?
No, sorry, Clark.
I love you and I love your I love your Diamondbacks, but it would not make for an exciting
No,
World
this
Series.
Phillies team is electric. Like I'm not a big baseball guy, and I love watching this series. It's really fun.
I'm with you. We're gonna go into our NHL talk, which let's see, Ty, you still awake enough that you can be doing our NHL tonight?
Yeah, boy. The
Past
NHL
bedtime.
the NHL right now has been pretty good. Some of these guys are starting hot and staying hot. Teams are starting to find their rhythm, but the NHL is weird. Not everybody, plays the same amount of games. There's teams right now that have played 4 games and some that are playing their first tonight while we're recording. So, I mean, there's still a lot of time. If you feel good about a team or more so about a goalie, I'd hop on that right now. The lines are still profitable. You're still seeing some big $3 or $4 favorites with just the teams that have been good. But if you're liking underdogs, right now is a good time to hop onto them while teams are still trying to get their lines set and get in the groove and get the goalies back to facing that many live shots. Personally, as far as futures go, right now it's still a little hard to tell. Vegas starts hot and looks like they could be a contender still. The Oilers haven't started out so hot, and they were this preseason favorite to win the Stanley Cup. If they keep sliding a little bit, maybe good time to get some value in on them for at the end of the year if they do turn it on. But right now, I would just say if you like an underdog at home or matchup wise because of goalie, I'd say hop on them. And it's kind of like playing with fire right now with some of these big $3, $4 favorites are losing. So I would say go ahead, ride your goaltenders or ride your hot hands. Austin Matthews already has 2 hat tricks on the year. He had 2 hat tricks his 2 first games. So Bedard getting his shots in every single night is still absolutely money. 4+ every night so far. I actually have that bet for later this evening, but I think we take this into our lock of the weeks. Clark, I want to hear from you first.
Okay. This one I wasn't too sure on what I wanted to go with here.
It's a hard week.
There's some games where I think there's free money, but I like giving a pick where we're sitting there looking at it, praying it hits. And I'm taking a bigger line this week. I'm taking UCLA minus 16.5. I'm changing it against Stanford, and that is minus 113.
Wow.
Good pick.
13.5 you're laying, huh?
I think so, yeah. I'll risk it for the biscuit, baby. And it's a late game. It's going to be at, I think, 9:30 our time, so I'm going to be at the bar enjoying some football, drinking my Modelo.
Amen.
It's going to be beautiful.
Parker, you want to take this with yours?
All right, boys. I'm going back to the big old kicker from Mevis. Give me Mizzou minus 7.5 versus South Carolina. This Mizzou team has won me over. I like them beating in South Carolina. Give them to me.
I love that.
I love that.
I love that pick.
That was my second option.
Here's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna go with Iowa, but I am gonna stay in the Big Ten. Give me Ohio State -4.5.
Hey,
Give me the game of the week. Ohio State -4.5 at home.
You're ruining the parlay.
Yeah, you are.
no, you're not. E. No, you're not.
Nah, I'm with it. Josh, where you at?
Have
The
faith.
boys are back in town, baby. I told you not to bet Air Force last week. I was right.
Fuck.
I was right. They struggled against Wyoming. They did not cover. But they're going to cover this week. They're covering the 10.5 this week against fucking Navy. Give me the troops. Air Force all day.
They're all
Oh,
troops,
lovely.
technically. They're all troops, technically.
Technically, shut
Cole,
up, Cole.
where
Give
you
us your
going?
luck.
Technically, suck my dick because we're going to UNC.
Oh my
Minus
god.
I love it.
23 and a half.
Oh
They-
my.
They constantly cover. You can't. They're the cash cow, bro.
Here, piggy, 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 piggy. I'm going back with my little pay piggy too, Cole. Give me Rutgers and the Scarlet
What?
Knights again at Indiana, 5.5-point favorites. I am riding with the Scarlet Knights. Last week was ugly. It was a sweat. But this offense is so good. I'm calling it now. Rutgers is the team that beats Iowa this year for their second loss. Rutgers is the team.
Jesus,
Don't
that's
sleep
not
on
true.
them.
Before we go to Tyler's teaser, which is a mainstay of this podcast, we always say in our ad reads, we're here to give you parlays on top of picks. I got a parlay for the listeners this week. I got Tyler's original pay pig, Oklahoma -18.5 against UCF, UNLV -7.5 against Colorado State. Hear me out. Don't make that face. And I got Miami of Ohio +2.5 against Toledo. I get it. I see all the faces. What's up with this parlay, Josh? Oklahoma 6-0 ATS. UNLV's 6-0 ATS. Miami of Ohio 6-1 ATS. The only other team that is X-1 or better ATS is Penn State, and that game scares me, so it's not going into the parlay. But the other three are getting. It's strictly a you haven't failed anyone yet. Don't fail me now.
Fair
I
enough.
might throw money on that. I might honestly just throw a fiver on there.
I mean, they're all going to be right around 110, so you're going to get like +32 or 320 or something like that. You know, it's not going to be a big win, but it's going to be. You're going to see a parlay go through the net, and we love seeing it.
A win's a win, baby.
A win is a win.
My
All
teaser
right.
this week is going to step on some toes. And I'm just going to put that out there now. We're going with my original pay pig, Oklahoma. This is another 6-leg, 8.5-point teaser. Colorado absolutely ruined this last week on Friday night with the ultimate melt. So we're starting off with Oklahoma. We're getting them down to -9. Josh's pay piggy Air Force at -2. We're taking Alabama down to a pick'em against Tennessee at home. My pay pig Rutgers +3. So we get Rutgers to lose by a field goal. Iowa, our boys +5. If we're going to lose this game, it's not going to be by a touchdown. There may not be a touchdown scored in this game. So give me Iowa +5 in the
I
leg.
like that a lot.
The leg that is going to piss everybody off.
Oh, fuck.
South Carolina +16 against Mizzou. Mizzou can win.
No.
Mizzou can win.
Mizzou's got to cover
Mizzou can win
7.
by 10. South Carolina +16. 2 touchdowns.
That's
Spencer Rattler and the boys are going to hang around. It's going to be gritty. It's going to be chippy. 2 scores here is a lot. You guys can cover by a field goal, whatever. It doesn't matter. plus 16 with South Carolina. I told you weren't going to like it, but I don't care.
I genuinely fuck with that.
That's fine. Hey, there's room there for both bets to win.
Yep. And just to rattle those off real quick, Oklahoma, Air Force, Alabama, Rutgers, South Carolina, and Iowa. 6-leg, 8.5 point teaser, plus 450.
I feel like we could have put 2 other teams in there to offset that.
Tyler,
it's just me.
You
You
have to follow them.
just want to make me sweat all day. You just want to make me sweat a little bit.
A way lower number.
Exactly. You could have put UNC and Washington in there to, just not even put it down.
UNC came down to 16, and I didn't like it.
I know Tyler, and Tyler hits his teasers.
Tyler does hit his teasers.
He hits his
Tyler's
teasers.
bookie.
So we're riding with this
Some
one.
of his teasers.
Anybody else got anything before we head out for the week?
Just my parlay again was Oklahoma minus 18.5, UNLV minus 7.5, Miami of Ohio plus 2.5.
That's it, boys.
Well, there you have it, folks. We gave you the picks. It's your turn to bet on them. We love the money, so show us the money.